Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is well and happy as I am. So, uh, good news, good news, good news, good news. We are starting with our assessment from next week, Monday. So this whole week, we're going to be doing revision, right? And I want you guys to take opportunity of or let me say take advantage of the revision we're going to do. We're going to do revision in multiplication, we're going to be doing revision in division, we're going to be doing revision in most of the concepts that you're going to be assessed on. So watch and be very attentive because whatever we do will be on the assessment. And also on top of that, you must also watch for the way I say things and I put things forward. So you can have a picture of saying, not, I can expect this, or it's going to be tailored this way. Remember, I always tell you guys that in maths, what's the two things that are important are the how and why. Why did we use this method and how does it work? So if you get that and understand that and it becomes part of your life, then you are able to be able to get through most of the concepts in mathematics. But on that being said, thank you guys for attending. As you see down here, two things that I always say are very, very important to your lives. My email address and my Twitter handle. Please, please, please use them both as much as possible. Abuse them as much as possible. Send 1,000 emails if possible, right? And make sure that as much as you be sending these emails and etc., try best to ensure that before we start assessing, you are ready and ready to start. That you have actually questioned everything that you can be able to question, and you are one of the few, or let me say one of the many, who will be ready to start. But besides that, let us get into it. So we're looking at the vertical method of multiplication. Now, when we speak about multiplication, is when you take one number and add it together a number of times. For example, I have here 5 multiplied by 4. It means that the 4 here stands for the amount of times that I'm going to be adding the 5. So it's 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. If I count in 5s, it's 5, 10, 15, 20. Right. We took the 5 and added it together 4 times. This is why multiplication is sometimes called times. So in multiplication, you meet a point whereby they'll say 5 times 3 or 5 times 2. And that means the amount of times you're going to add that thing. But the bigger the number gets, the less of the opportunity you're going to get to actually just use the repeated addition methods. Because the numbers are getting bigger. Now when you're multiplying 147 multiplied by 45. So it would need you to know how they work digit for digit. If you are multiplying 145 multiplied by 47, you need to know what is 7 times 5? What is 7 times 4? What is 7 times 1? What is, all of that? It is very important. And place value is a very important thing. The bigger the number gets, the more now place value gets involved, because sometimes you're not just multiplying a simple digit that's 4. You're multiplying a 40. So placeholders are going to also become very important. But we'll see that as we go along. But when we understand one thing that we must get together is that when we are dealing with something called times, it speaks about how a multiplication works with what? Repeated addition. Repeated addition. So this is something very important to you guys right now. It's a multiplication table. Now, if you do not take the time to practice your times tables, you're going to meet a challenge. And the challenge you're going to meet is now actually trying to figure out uh, each and every single thing when you can like try to figure out what is 3 times 9, and yet if you knew your times tables you'd know it's 27. So it's very important that you practice your times tables every day, because you you will never know when you're going to need it, right? You'll never know. But I want to get into the important part of the work of today. Then the rest we'll see at a different time. So we've got 3 things that we consider when we're talking about multiplication. And this is what I want you guys to write down. We've got the multiplicate, we've got the multiplier, and we have the product, right? The multiplicate, the multiplier, and the product. The multiplicate is the number that's being multiplied. The multiplier is the number multiplying the multiplicate, and the result of the multiplication is called the product. So how is this important? The multiplier tells you how many times you're going to be adding or using the repeated addition method with the multiplicate. That's what the multiplier, that's the information the multiplier gives you. And the product is the result of this whole multiplication process. So having the product here tells us to say that after I multiply these two, I am going to get 15. One way or another, 15 is going to be my result. And another beautiful thing is that even if you swap around the multiplicate and the multiplier, you still get the same result. So 5 times 3 and 3 times 5 give you the same answer, even if you're going to swap them around, which is the beauty of multiplication, that even when you swap around the numbers, you still get the same answer. So I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to write down this information. And if you are able to screenshot, do so. But I'll give you guys a nice 2 minutes to write down the information. And then after the 2 minutes, we start tackling questions. So if there's any questions now, it would be good to raise your hand so that after the 2 minutes that we can have a discussion as well. Because today's revision, it's mostly you guys who must be speaking and asking a lot of questions, because the work, we're going over the work especially for you guys, so you guys can understand and grasp the concepts. So I would need you guys to ask as many questions as possible and not be afraid to ask. You know, not be afraid to ask how did they get the answer and all of that. So please take the 2 minutes now to write down this information. It's going to be important. It's going to be very, very important. Please take the time to write down the answer, to write down this part here. And if you're done, please notify me in the chat if you're done. If you're done, please notify me in the chat when you are done. Please notify me in the chat when you are done. When you are done, please notify me in the chat. When you are done, please notify me in the chat. One minute left. 1 minute left. So please write down this information or screenshot or whatever you use to get the information down. please use that method. You have 1 minute left. You have 1 minute left. You have 1 beautiful minute left. Right, and then we're going to go over 2 examples together, and then you guys are going to do the other ones on your own and also explain how they work. And then after that, I give you your homework. Then we prepare for tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to be doing division. So please use today as much as possible to ask questions. Who is finished, please notify me in the chat. Whoever is finished, please notify me in the chat so we can change to the next slide. Whoever is finished, or if you're finished, please notify me in the chat so we can change over to the next slide, the following slide. Please, can I just get a notification if you are done? Awesome. Awesome. Can I have one more notification if you are done? One more notification if you're done. One more. Can I have one more notification if you're done? One more. One more person letting me that they're done so I can change to the following slide. Okay, going once, going twice. Right, I'm changing slide. Right, so I have 6 times 5. And noting from my theory, please write while I explain. Noting from the theory of repeated addition, I know that 6 times 5, if I add 6 5 times, I say 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. I get 30. So 6 times 5 is 30. So I can add it using plus, 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 or write it down. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 5 is 30. That's how it works. That's how it works. So using the addition method is also counting on. You're counting on. You start at 6. Say 6, 12, 18, 24, right, and 30. It is also important to note that each time you go more, you're getting a multiple of the number, right? So if I'm multiplying, guys, I'm getting a multiple of a number. So even if you're questioned and asked to say that you've just multiplied what's this? 30 times 10, and you got an answer. Is your answer a multiple of 30? And then you're going to say yes, because it is, you get, when you multiply or you use multiplication, you are going to get a multiple of a particular number. You know, you can even think of saying that the times here, whatever you're multiplying by, tells you the position of that multiple. Because if you count in 6, you find out that 30 is the 5th multiple of 6. So those are also the things that you must look at when it comes to multiplication, to say that no, 24 is the 4th multiple of 6. 18 is the 3rd multiple of 6. 12 is the 2nd multiple of 6. 6 is the 1st multiple of 6. So it's important also that to consider, but also the counting on method of it, to say 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. Please, 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 you have 1 minute to write down this information. Your 1 minute has started. Please write as quick as possible so we can go into the next example. Please write as quick as possible so we can go into the next example. And if there are questions, please do ask. Especially also make notes on certain ways I phrase questions. As I said, to say that if you are going to be asked what is the fifth multiple of 6, you're going to say the fifth multiple of 6 is 30. You're getting a multiple. Right. So can I please get a notification of who is done? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, sorry about that. I wanted to click on the, there we go. Can I please be notified who is done? Right. Can I please get 2 notifications of people who are done? Awesome, 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 awesome. Next slide. Next slide, next slide, next slide. If you're having network problems, just know that this thing will be, this presentation will be uploaded on YouTube. So if you're having problems, do know that this will be uploaded on YouTube. I have a question.
Sir?
How are you? I'm well. Yes, you have a question?
My question is, if you have a big, if you have a big sum, instead of plusing it, instead of plusing that sum, do we just do the normal multiplication?
Like the one you see now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's what you no, what's on here? That's what you do. Yeah, that's what you do. What happens is that whenever you find, that's why I said that you can either do the repeated addition or you're going to find yourself doing this. So that's why actually, yeah. So as I was saying, that you have really big numbers, right? So we find that you have a really big number, like 82 multiplied by 79. If you have the time and the patience, and I say this with a big smile on my face, if you do have the time and the patience, to multiply 8279 times, you can do it. You can do it. Nothing stops you. I doubt you'd finish in time. Probably take you an hour, or yeah, take you an hour. It's not impossible, by the way, to multiply 82, add 8279 times, but it's going to take you about an hour and a half, and you might find that your answer's inaccurate, but it's fine. So let us discuss this question. I want us to discuss it together so we can get this right. So I've got 82 multiplied by 79. Why is place value important? Right? Why is place value important? Anyone can tell me, why is place value important here? Why, when multiplying these digits together, I must not forget about place value? I must actually remember to say this row here is for my units. This next time I'm going down, this is for my 10. And when I go further down, it's for my hundreds and stuff. If it was not, there was no line here. So why is place value important? What role does place value play in all of this? Why would place value be important? Before we come and discuss what's going on this side, but why would place value be important? Anyone? Anyone? Why is place value important? Why is place value important? Why is it, if if I don't consider place value, there's a 80% chance that the answer is going to be wrong. Why is place value important? Not even an 80% chance. There's 100% chance that the answer is going to be wrong. I saw a hand up. There's 100% chance. Right. Hello. Hello. All right. Escaped. Right. Fine. So place value is important because you know when you multiply, yeah, there's particular parts where, right. So I start from right to left. That's one important thing, right? And when I start from right to left, moving on this side, right? I look at my multiplier, because you know this is the multiplicate, this is the multiplier, in relation to the multiplicate. So I say 9 times 2 is what? 9 times 8 is what? When I get to this side, this part, I'm not multiplying by just a 7. I'm not. I'm multiplying by 70. That's where we introduce something called a placeholder. So the placeholder respects the fact that that digit is not a 7 but a 70. That's this 0 over here respects the fact that this is not just an ordinary 7, it's a 70. We're not dealing with an ordinary number. Hence, that's why we didn't put a placeholder for 9. For example, we say 9 times 2 is what? It's 18. So we put the 8, we put 1, we carry the 1. Then we say 9 times 8 is what? 72. Plus 1, it's 73. So we write the 73 here. Then we have 780, 738. Right. Then I have to put the 0 here. Why? If you don't put it, you're going to line up numbers like this. You're going to have 738 and 574 underneath each other. But because this is 70, you're respecting the fact that this is a 70. It's not just an ordinary 7. What am I going to do? I'm going to place a 0 first as my placeholder. So 0 is going to always tell me to say that, remember, this is a 70. Then I can just multiply using digit. 7 times 2 is what? It's 14. So I put the 4, I carry 1. Then I say 7, what? 7 times 8 is what? 56. Plus 1, 57. Right? So I put the 57. Then I add everything together. I add everything together. Then I say 8 plus 0 is 8. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 plus 7 is 14. So I put the I'll put my 1 carrier and then I put my 4 down. Then I say 1 plus 5 is 6. So I have 6,478. And then there's this method. This one is also, you can use it at times. So you expand everything up. So you say, okay, this is basically what we did here, but more open. So we write, okay, 2, the 2 of the 80 multiplied by the 9, the 80, so we did the 2 multiplied by 9, 9 multiplied by 80, right? Then again, then to be the 70, 2 multiplied by 70, 80 multiplied by 70. It just breaks it up. So one part, you are multiplying both of this as a whole number of 82 by 9, and the other part you're multiplying both as a whole number of 82 by 7, to say that you're breaking it up into 80 and 2 by 70 actually. Then you say 2 times 9 is 18. 80 plus multiplied by 9 is 720. 2 times 70 is what? 140. 8 multiplied by 70 is 5,600. Then I add everything together up, I'll get 6,470. So these are your two options. I would use this one quicker, but you can use this one. Are there any questions? Any questions at all? Are there 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 any questions at all? Does anyone have a question? Or else, if you've understood, please write all of this down. If you've understood, please put in the chat that you understand so that we can try some examples. Please, respecting time. Yeah, respecting time. Please put in the chat to say, no, I've understood, sir. You can move on so we can try some examples. Please put in the chat whether you've understood or not. But if you've understood, please also just say done and understand. Right. Good. Now I've got my question. This is what I wanted. I want us to discuss this. I want us to remove anything. Hello. 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 I think something's wrong with your mic. I would suggest that you do us a favor and maybe just write your question in the chat. Write your question in the chat quickly so that I can know what question did you have. I want us actually to do some examples, guys. So if we're all done and we understand, it's fine. Let me try one more time because is there anyone with a question? Anyone with a question before we go onwards? Because I feel that it's important because this is more for you than it's for me. You understand? So I would love some questions. Any questions at all. Whether you don't understand which method do I suggest that you should use. I suggest the one where the first one I did, it's much more easier to understand. Some people might opt for the other option. It's fine as long as the answer is correct. That's what I always tell. I always tell my students that as long as the answer is correct, you can use whatever method. Hello? 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 I think something's wrong with your mic. Hello?
Hi, sir.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, sir.
I'm awesome. You have a question?
Yes, sir. You asked
Yes.
which one. I want to ask which one did you suggest because at my school we used to just use the one on the right, sir.
As I said, as long as you will not get confused, you understand? For example, some people get confused with the first one, some people get confused with the second one. So anyone is fine. Anyone is fine as long as you know that I'm moving from A to B to B to C to D to F to G. Like you're moving properly. Anyone is fine. I like the first one because as you should know your teacher very well. He's a great fan. He's a great fan of quick things, of quick mathematics. So yeah. But if you like the second one, use it. It's not a crime not to. Hello? 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 All right. I think it's not working for us. Please, if I tried unmuting you and didn't work, it's fine. Right, let's go and try some examples. I would have wanted us to do that. Right. Guys, due to time, and I want us to try as much as possible. Try this one. I'm going to give you guys some time to try this one. I'll give you 3 minutes to try this one and try using both methods, right? In the 3 minutes, or let me give you 5 minutes, try using both methods in the 5 minutes and seeing if you get the right answer. So 2.5 minutes is for the first method that I showed you guys. The other time is for the second method. Try both methods. Try both methods. So we've jumped directly into trying. So now what we're going to do is that you're going to try both methods and see if you get it. Don't you understand? Are there any gaps whatsoever? Try both methods. Here's the question. 88 multiplied by 77. Do not use a calculator. Try both methods. Try both of them. Widen your how would my English teacher used to say? Widen your spectrum. Widen your spectrum. So try both methods. Try both methods and see which one is more difficult, which one is more easy, which one are you a fan of, which one don't you like, which one would you prefer? Try both methods. This is your time now to try both methods and see which one of the two is your favorite. And you can use the one to find out if your answer is correct for the other one, right? I would like to say that I've received an answer privately, and I would say, please check your answer. Please do check your answer. Please check your answer. Please, and please respect, remember that friend of ours that I said you must respect in this friend of ours named Place Value. Please respect him as much as possible. Please respect Place Value as much as possible. There's some times where you're multiplying by a 70 and there's some times where you're multiplying by a 7. So please respect Place Value as much as possible. But please try both methods, and then when time is up, then we'll do correction. So try both methods. Try both methods. Please do try both methods. If you have a question now, just quickly type it in the chat while you guys are doing this exercise. You have about 2 minutes left. You have 2 minutes left. 2 minutes. Two minutes left, and then I'll accept hands. I'll accept hands. Then I'll accept hands. So you have 2 minutes left. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing some good. I'm seeing some good answers in the chat. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I hope you guys tried out both methods because I'm going to ask you as well, which one do you prefer? Is it the first one? Is it the second one? Which one do you understand it better? Which one works best with your mind? I'm seeing some beautiful answers. I am seeing some beautiful answers. Ish. Check your answers again. Please, please do check your answers and respect our dear friend Place Value. There's a friend of ours, a very good friend of ours that I wish that you guys should always respect. His name is Place Value. He comes from Johannesburg, South Africa. So please respect him as much as possible. He's a tall man and his favorite food is donuts. So please respect Place Value as much as possible. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. Where are those hands that I was seeing? I saw some hands. Let me attend to the hands that I saw. Hand number 1.
Sir,
Hello. Yes.
I first wanted to tell you something, sir.
Yes.
I don't know how to do the first one that you did at the last question, sir. They
So
never taught that at my school.
you're most comfortable with the second method.
Yes, sir.
Then you continue with it.
So first, sir,
Continue with the second one.
first, sir, I first
So,
broke up the
you want to
numbers.
explain it? All right. All right.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
do this. Let's do this. Let's change the slide. There you go. Now you can explain it for us.
Okay, sir.
As you were saying, yes.
So first I did 80 times 70 equals 5,600.
All
And then I
right.
did 8 times 70 equals 560. Then
Uh-huh.
80 times 7 equals
Uh-huh.
560 as well. And then 8
Uh-huh.
times 7 is 56. Then I added them all
So
up.
you moved
So
from
first,
here to here.
yes,
You
sir.
moved from, so you started with the big one, the 80 times 80. Then you moved to the 8 times 70. Then you moved to
Yes.
the 80 times 7. Then you moved to the 8 times 7. Then what did you do?
And then I went to the cluster and then I did 5,600 plus
Uh-huh.
560 plus
Uh-huh.
560 plus 56, which
All right. Yes.
which is
Please excuse this line. It was supposed to drop. The line is actually, yes, please excuse the line. It was supposed to drop. Yes, so then you said 5,600 plus 560 plus 560 plus 56. And your final answer was?
607 and 6,776.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much. See a hand here.
So,
All right. Sorry. One more time.
hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you, sir.
I am fantabulous.
Fine.
You are?
So, sir,
Sir, I didn't have the time to do the first one, sir.
So you did this one.
Yes, I did this one, sir, the second one.
All right. No, it's fine. I'll just then explain this one for you guys. That would be awesome, right? Would that be awesome?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, let me see what time. Oh, time is not with us. Right. So I say to respect timey, because timey is not with us. 7, as I said, place value. Ne? So this one is for this friend of mine from Johannesburg named Place Value, who stays in the great town of Poisons. From Johannesburg, it's from Poisons, right before you get into the central part of town. Right. So 7 times 8 is what? What is 7 times 8? 7 times 8, as I know, is 56. So I put my 5 here and I make sure that I have my 6. Or you can write down the 6. Remember that you can only put in 1 digit at a time, or 2 if you are done. Then you say 7 times 8 again is what? 56. Plus 5 is what? 61. Then I respect place value from Poisons and I put a 0 here. I put a nice, beautiful 0 to respect Mr. Place Value. Then I start the process again. Same process, same thing. Same process, you know, there used to be this show called Dinner for Two. Your parents might know it, right? Where they used to do the same thing over and over again. 7 times 8 is what? 56. So I drop the 6 and I carry over the 5. And then I say 7 times 8 again is what? 56 plus 5 is 61. Then I add 6 plus 0 is 6. 1 plus 6 is 7. 6 plus 1 is 7. 6 plus nothing is 6. So the final answer is 6,776. The final answer is 6,776. I hope we've understood and I hope we've written it down. Let me quickly go to our homework because I want you guys to have homework. Here is your homework. Oopsie, right. In my email address, right here, it's short of an O. Sorry about that. It's just short of an O, but the rest is beautiful. Right there, it's short of an O, but in the chat, I'm also going to drop my email address. Earlier on, I said also make sure that you've written down my email address. And then that's it, guys. If there are no questions, I think that we've covered multiplication for our assessment period. I think we've covered multiplication. You've seen that because what's important before you go into assessment is that you must find a method that you are most comfortable with. So since you guys have established that there's a method that you guys are most comfortable with, it is awesome. And that means we are done now. We've covered multiplication. There is your homework. If there are no questions, I will say goodbye and I love you. Goodbye